what's up, everybody? It's Marcus from Marcus Brown Performance, also the owner of Dad Strength. Make sure to get your official Dad Strength headwear at dadstrength.com, where strength is rooted in fatherhood. So today I wanted to talk about the strategic aspect of powerlifting. And with that comes the fact that you may not lift as much as you really can lift in powerlifting. Most people that are not in the sport just think that it's lift as much as you can, hit a PR that day, save your PRs for competition. And you very well may do that. Sometimes it's going to require you to do that, but that's not always the case. And I'm going to break down why. So let's talk about every other sport: basketball, football, soccer. There are strategic things that you do in a game to ensure that you outperform or outsmart the other team in order to score or simply just win, right? That's the same thing in powerlifting. So let's start off with the weight, right? So for example, my last attempt on deadlift probably was not my max. It probably wasn't my 100% RPE 11 deadlift. However, all I needed to confirm my win was 315 kilos, right? Which is not light, but it wasn't something that I had to truly grind out and potentially fail in order to get my second place finish, right? And that goes with a lot of lifters. If you look at Austin Perkins back when he did the World Championships, he did not go all maxed out. He did what he had to do to win, and he was out. He even said it himself. He said he knew what he had to do to win, and his focus was to go to Sheffield, right? That's the strategic part of lifting weights and powerlifting, right? Let's talk about also attempt selection when it comes to your first and second attempts, right? So most people know in powerlifting that your first attempt should be something that you can do any day of the week for about 3 reps, right? You can come in on any day and say, hey, I can hit this for triple, no problem, right? But sometimes that may not be the case, right? You may go a little lower because you know that you get taxed really heavily after that, or you understand, hey, I'm going for a record this competition and I don't want to potentially ruin my chances of hitting that record by going this high. Or if I don't feel well, right? If you're not feeling it that day, this may be a day you have to adjust your first attempt, right? Or your second attempt, your jumps, right? Smaller lifters sometimes take smaller jumps because of the fact that they're smaller, right? You look at the big guys, they may take 15, 20 to 25 kilo jumps, right? But that may not be the same for a different weight class, right? So that's another aspect. And then another thing that I think that people don't realize is deadlifts is a massive game, right? So if you look at a deadlift, a third attempt in lifting cast or whatever, federation or whatever or website they use, I think Good Lift is the one in the IPF uses. You'll see that people will have these astronomical numbers, right? They'll put numbers in there that you're like, I know he's not lifting that. How do you jump from like this number to a 40 kilo jump, right? That makes no sense. But the reason why they do it is because what they're trying to do is it's basically a pump fake, right? In basketball, you pump fake, right? You're trying to get them to flinch, do something that they're not ready to do, your opponents, right? Put a number in there that's a little higher than what they actually were trying to do or trying to attempt, because everybody usually goes into a competition with an idea of all 9 of their attempts, right? It's like they obviously know the openers, but then they're like, all right, we're probably gonna hit this number, right? But if now you're saying, hey, I'm in a position to win and I need to go pull this crazy number because this guy's pulling that, I gotta change, or I gotta go higher. And then they go back down to what number they're originally gonna put in, and now you're stuck at that number. Whew, that's tough. And you gotta pull that and you fail it. Now it puts them in a lead and gives them potentially a gap beating you in that competition. So it's all a game. It's really a strategic aspect to the sport. And it's something that I think that if you get into the sport, you'll really like, and you'll really understand how it becomes more fun just knowing that it's not just lifting weights. And I think that's a big part of why I love the sport and love competing, because I know that part, right? Someone's tried to fake me out. Someone tried to put I'm like 745 pounds and me and my coach knew they're not doing that, right? But that being said, these are some things. I may do a part 2 of this video at some point, because I think there's so many pieces of powerlifting and the strategic aspect of it that people don't understand. But that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching the video. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.